Hey, welcome back. It's a new day. I shaved, and we're gonna get back on the YZ. We stopped last night. The kids across the street come over and wanted to ride dirt bikes, so I had to delay my grand starting by a day. Um, that's all right though. I had a few things that were gonna take me some time, and it was a long day anyway. So let me just show you what I got done here. So I went to put the clutch cable on, and those of you with YZ125s are probably familiar. That little aluminum piece that goes onto the whole side case, it snapped off like it was nothing. Looks like somebody maybe JB welded it at one point thinking that would work, and it doesn't. It never works for these. You can aluminum weld them, and I thought about doing that, but in all honesty, it's a piss poor design if you ask me. So I went ahead and made this here bracket. Didn't take me more than half an hour. I started out with a little paper template, and I just kind of made like this, and then bent it to where it's going to be. Took it over to the bench, traced it out on a piece of steel, and made it a little big at first, and just gradually brought it over here, and that's what I ended up with. You can see it's changed a bit since the initial design, but it uses that case bowl, which is a pretty long one, and there was plenty of threads. The inside here holds up against the aluminum clutch mount there, the clutch cable mount anyways, so it's not like it can bend, and it's made of pretty thick steel, so it's not going anywhere. I thought about originally making it U-shape and putting it over to here and then welding that piece, but this was the easier fix, and it seems to work pretty darn good. No bending or no flexing. So we're going to go with that. The other thing I had to make was these mounts didn't come with the bike. So same thing. Somebody's about to get wrecked on the highway. Same thing here. I just traced it out on cardstock. I made two at the same time. Drilled them out. Now I got two perfect mounts. Alright, you can see that's all in line. It'll go quite nicely. Now the factory one has a big hole here and another little hole where my thumb is to make it, I don't know, lightweight and look professional or whatever. Well, guess what? That's professional enough. So I got some new bolts. The CDI mounts onto those brackets as well. So let's get at her. Okay, went to mount the coil, and one of the threads was a little bit rough. So I had a good look at them, and it needed to be chased. So an M6 tap. And since I had it in hand, I went ahead and did both. I did all the gas tank mounts, the radiator mounts, the exhaust mounts, the seat mounts, since they're all the same. And all of them were a little bit crappy. And the reason was when he painted the frame, he didn't chase any of the threads. So it was going to have to happen. You could have put the bolts in, but then you're struggling with the darn things. And for the sake of 2-3 minutes, run a tap through it. Alright, CDI box is mounted. I ran the wires up through the gap in the bracket that I made here, up around the frame. That's where I got the coil mounted. Hooked up the ground. Now this is all loose still. This is for your kill switch. Okay, you have male and female bullet connectors, and that is your wiring harness for the CDI that comes from the engine. All right, so you can plug those in. I bought a new kill switch. I already ran the wires here. Where are they? There they are. Alright, so you can see it's a pretty straightforward process. Male, female, female, male. Plug in your CDI to the engine. Tighten up your bolts. And she's all done. Alright. Couple of cable ties, and these aren't crazy tight. Common mistake people do is they crank them right down and they end up damaging the wires. And these are just to keep things in order again. They're loose. Just to keep things a little bit neater and from getting damaged if they're hanging down. I'll just go ahead and cut those ends off now. Alright, because I have no history with this bike other than putting it together and picking up in pieces, I got everything all hooked up. CDI mounted, stators in, the works. Put my spark plug in and just ground it out here against the engine. Now, if I kick it over, you see the spark. Nice blue spark. That's what you're looking for.